Hi, and welcome back to A Positive Light. I'm Joni Lane, your host, and we are here live streaming on LCM TV. And thank you, LCM TV, for having us. You were listening to music by Sam Houston from his Beyond the Crescent Moon album. Also, A Positive Light is also a meditation center in Kelseyville, California. We are located in Northern California, and we hold meditation classes, self-help classes, personal growth classes, many different classes. But every Monday at 7 o'clock, we hold a meditation for 1 hour at the Meditation Center in Kelseyville. There's no cost to this particular class on Monday nights. We are a non-profit, so it's donation-based. But it's based on Buddhist meditations, and we start with Sati meditation and work our way through metta meditation and Vipassana meditation. If you want to know more about the classes, you can visit the website at apositivelight.com. Or you can call me or email me, and I will be happy to answer any questions you have. And my information, my contact information, and the website information will be showing up on your screen throughout the program today. So you might want to get a pencil and a piece of paper and make note of that, because it will be coming up and down throughout the entire show. Also, on the second Tuesday of every month, I hold a 12 in Zen. And 12 in Zen is based on the book by Bill Crumbeen, 12 in Zen. And what we do is we take, it's based on the traditional AA steps, and we've also incorporated 12 steps for Zen practitioners and 12 steps for societal normal. And we take a step and meditate on that particular step for the month. We don't meditate all month long, although you can, but each month we take a step and we meditate on it on that Tuesday night. And then we pair that step with the Buddhist koan. And a koan is a parable or a story that's been intentionally paired with that step. And through meditation, we can see how that step develops, kind of have a different relationship with the step. Often things come to us that we weren't aware of or weren't paying attention to when we were working on our steps. So it's a really interesting class. If we have 12 people there, we will have 12 different views on the step and the koan. And we like to share the information so we can learn from each other. But again, that's the second Tuesday of every month at 7 o'clock. And there is no cost for that class as well. That one is also donation-based. So we're looking for sponsors to the show here, and if you'd like to support us, we'd like to support you. We try to keep our costs down. We can do advertisements for you as low as $40 a month. So contact us with what you'd like to share, and we'd love to promote you on the show. Also, if you or someone you know has a positive message they'd like to share, please contact me and let's talk about being a guest on the show. I have several guests on the show whenever I can get them on here. We're all so busy these days, but last week I had Lama Norbu on, and that was an interesting show. But if you have a positive message, I'd really like to share that and support you. So contact me, call me, email me, and we can talk about setting up a show with you as our guest. I'm also a Reiki master teacher, and I like to teach Reiki. Reiki is Japanese energy work. Very similar to Qigong, which is Chinese, but it's more of using universal energy, and we use our bodies as a conduit, moving the energy through our body and to other people. Very powerful, very healing, and the energy can do wonderful things, and it's something that needs to be experienced because it's very difficult to explain. But I am a Reiki Master teacher, as I said, and I do teach levels 1, level 2, and then there's Master and Teacher. So I do teach all 4 levels, and I'd love to share that with you. Contact me if you're interested in learning Reiki, and we could set up a class for you. On the last Friday of every month, I do a Reiki Healing Circle, which I just held last Friday, which was September 25th. We had 8 people, and you come in, we do a little bit of gentle yoga, a little gentle Qigong, get some energy moving, and then you will lie down and relax as I give you Reiki energy. And people they sign up immediately after the class because it's so powerful and they love it. And I love sharing it. So if you want to get in on next month's class, which will be October 30th, please email me or call me and let me know. There is a donation of $10 asked for this class because of the setup involved. But truly an amazingly powerful thing to share with you. On November 8th, I will be having, November 8th is a Sunday, by the way, I'll be having Kevin Griffin. And Kevin Griffin is an author who's written One Breath at a Time, A Burning Desire. He has a musical CD, Laughing Buddha, and now his newest book, Recovering Joy. And in this day-long retreat, we'll focus on ways to bring a light heart and a clear mind to your recovery program and explore ways to cultivate joy using traditional Buddhist mindfulness teachings and 12-step teachings. This class is only $50, and Kevin teaches all over the world to thousands of people. People usually end up paying much more than $50, so we're very fortunate to have him November 8th for the day-long workshop. Please contact me regarding this to reserve your space because space is limited and people are signing up. I've tried to make it easy for you by adding a PayPal button to the website. So if you go to the website, positivelight.com, go to our calendar page, you'll find the description of the class there regarding Kevin and the workshop, and a PayPal button where you can go ahead and reserve your space, pay for it, get it out of the way, and it will immediately notify me, and I'll put you on the email list. So those are the things that we do on a regular basis and upcoming classes. And if you didn't get all that, please visit the website, apositivelight.com. I do update that and try to keep it as up-to-date as I can. But again, if you have any questions or want some further details on any of the information printed on the website, give me a call or an email, and I will do my best to tell you about it. Explain all the details to you. So over the last few months on this show, we've been going over many subjects on meditation. And I've tried to give various types of insights in meditation because I realize that sometimes someone will get something one way and another person will get it another way. So I try and examples, hoping that one of them will ring true with you. Most of them are based on Buddhist principles, not all of them. But of the Buddhist principles, we've gone over the 4 foundations of mindfulness and the 4 noble truths. And I'd like to review what we've gone over because on the website I do have the archive shows, and if any of these sound interesting to you or something you'd like to review, you can go to the archive shows. There is a description for each show, and you can pick one or several that you think you might benefit from. So the 4 noble truths, number 1 being suffering exists. Well, we all know suffering exists because we're not always happy. Sometimes we are in a state of suffering. And then the second one, suffering has a cause. And what we've discussed on the show was the cause is attachment, and it could be attachment to your what you want for an outcome, your desire for an outcome. If you have plans on something and you want it to turn out a certain way and it doesn't, you're disappointed. You're attached to what you wanted the outcome to be, so now you're having some suffering. You can maybe attachment to someone. Maybe you're falling in love with someone and you really attached yourself to them. You identify your well-being with that particular relationship. That's attachment. And that can be a very hard thing to go through when it doesn't work, because we're attached to what we want and we feel such deep disappointment that it's very hard to let go of. We keep hoping and wanting something that just isn't there. So the suffering is real and it hurts. But the harder we hold on to something, the more suffering there will be. So this is leads into the third, which is suffering ceases when our attachment to desire ceases. And our attachment to desire ceases when we accept the truth, whether we like it or not. We accept it and let go. Let go of what we wanted. That's not to say you shouldn't try to get things. It's not to say you shouldn't try to make yourself happy by doing things, meeting people, educating yourself, maybe working at a particular job. Those are all things that are very healthy for us, and they help us grow and become healthy people. But sometimes they don't work out. So when you release your attachment to the outcome that you desire, you will release the suffering. And part of the releasing of the attachment is to accept the truth of the situation. And then the fourth noble truth, which is freedom from suffering, is possible by practicing letting go of the attachment. And by practicing the Eightfold Path, which is what Buddha taught. In order to learn how to let go, we need to really understand what that means. Yes, we know there is suffering. Yes, we know suffering has a cause. Yes, we know that suffering ceases when our attachment to desire ceases. But the hard part is learning how to do that, letting go. And that is where we lead into the Eightfold Path, which consists of three qualities. One being wisdom, the second being morality, and the third being meditation. And with those are the views. There's right view, how we see things. Right thought, are we thinking positive thoughts? Right speech, are we saying what we mean to say? Right action, are we behaving the way we should? Right livelihood, are we working in a job that suits our soul? Sometimes we don't have the privilege of the option, but we try to find what our path is and go down that path, which would be right livelihood. And the right effort. Are we putting effort into something that's positive and fruitful, or are we desiring something that cannot be? So right effort is important. Right mindfulness, being mindful of your thoughts, your actions toward yourself, your thoughts toward yourself and others. Right mindfulness is a very important part of the meditation process. And then right contemplation. How am I thinking? How do I contemplate things? Do I spend my time wishing I could make things the way I want them? Or do I contemplate the realities of the world and accept the truth? And part of the contemplation and meditation process is to bring yourself to a place where you can look at what's real, accept it, and find a way to make it work in your daily life. This is why meditation is so important, because through meditation we can learn to not get wrapped up in our thoughts and not let our thoughts take us for a ride to where we want things to be, and then come back to reality and find out it's not the way we want. It's just a constant cycle of suffering, which is what they call samsara. And it's not a happy place to be, but we all do it. And it's very easy to get caught up in that. The Eightfold Path also speaks about the aggregates, the fetters, the boundless states, and the perfections, but we won't get into that because it's very convoluted and it can be quite confusing. But let's start simple and just look at the Four Noble Truths. Looking at suffering, what causes it, how we can learn to let go. It's kind of the formula to happiness. The Eightfold Path also has the three characteristics of existence, which is transiency, sorrow, and selfishness. And those are things that can be looked at. Once you learn to settle your mind and kind of let go of thoughts, let go of what you want, let go of your desires, you can start looking at the three characteristics of existence. And then there's the things that get in our way, the hindrances, sensuous lust, aversion and ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and worry, and skeptical doubt. These are the 5 things that can lead us into the cycle of wanting what we can't have. You know, we get lost in some of these things. Sometimes they're a diversion from reality. Sometimes reality is really difficult and we don't want to deal with it. So we use some of these for a diversion so we don't have to look at it. But we know that's just temporary and life will come back and be there, whether we like it the way it is or not. The factors of enlightenment, mindfulness, investigation, energy, rapture, tranquility, concentration, and equanimity. All very positive things, and they take effort. I think this is where right effort might come into play, because it actually takes some effort to do some mindfulness. Once you learn how to be mindful of your thoughts and your actions, it becomes pretty easy to do. It becomes a habit. It becomes a healthy habit. But in order to become enlightened, it is called the way or the path or the Dharma for a reason. It's a process. And we may not ever get there, but it's the journey that matters, not when you get there. I don't know if I'm ever going to become completely enlightened, but I have learned a lot by using these steps. And letting go of some of the unhappiness I thought I would have to carry with me forever was very refreshing when I realized I didn't have to carry it, when I could let go. So a little effort, but it's also kind of easy, because really when you're practicing your mindfulness, you're just being aware of your actions. When you're washing dishes, you're washing dishes. You're not thinking about the laundry list of things to do. You're simply being in the moment of feeling the water and the suds and the dishes in your hands, and you're being in those moments. And those teach you to enjoy the other things in life. If you spend time with your children in the park and you're on your cell phone texting, you're not enjoying your children. You will wake up at one point in your life thinking, wow, my kids are gone, what happened? And you will regret the fact that you didn't spend time with them. So mindfulness can really bring a lot to us. It can open up some information to us that we think we know, but we really don't. Are we spending time with the people we love? What really is important? What is trivial? I think in this past 2 weeks here in Lake County, we have been through a lot. The past couple months have been a really trying time. We've had such horrible fires, but the past 2 weeks we've had fires that were tremendously damaging. People have lost their homes. Some people lost their lives. Many people lost everything that they had, including their pets. But I think what that did was it brought the community together and we saw what was happening, and if we weren't directly affected by the fire, we were helping, because we knew what it would feel like if it were us. And I think that that kind of compassion is something that we all want to do, but we don't always act on, because sometimes it takes a lot of effort, and we're kind of lazy. We don't really want to go spend a lot of energy on things that we're not going to get anything out of. But when you see your neighbors really suffering and losing their belongings, their homes, it's very difficult to watch, but it's even harder to go through. But talking to the people who actually went through the loss, they realized that they got out with their lives, and they started to realize, maybe I didn't get my box of photographs that I wanted, or my grandmother's brooch, or many other things that meant something to you, but they're things. And memories are still there. They won't go away. You always have your memories. So I think it kind of helped all of us kind of take stock in what's important. What should we be mindful of as we're sifting through the ashes looking for things? Many people have said it just kept reminding them how grateful they were, that even though they lost their home, they were finding a few things, but they were realizing even when they found a few things, it wasn't that important. I don't really want anybody to go through a tragedy in order to learn that. I think that we all know that on some level, and that we need to investigate that a little deeper. I think we need to really sit and be quiet with it and look at it and investigate that information. What does it mean to have this life? What would it mean if you knew you were going to lose it in a week? What would it mean if you knew you could do anything you wanted to do that was positive? What would it be? If you didn't have to worry about money, you didn't have to worry about the responsibilities that you think you need to worry about, what would you do? Would you approach life differently? And if you think about that and you find yourself answering, yeah, there's other things I would do, I would approach life differently, then maybe this is a really good opportunity for you to start that process. And that can be simple. Maybe write down 2 things that come to mind. What would I do? Would I be an artist? Would I help children in the preschools? Would I work in a nursing home? I don't know. I don't know what your answer is. But if you write them down and your soul tells you what's really important, you might want to look at that and see if you can take some small steps toward doing a little bit of that. I do know that we all have responsibilities, and we do have to work for a living and pay our bills. But sometimes just taking stock of what you have and what's really important, and what the things you want to change, and then asking yourself, what are the things I could do to make those changes? Maybe something will come to mind where you think, I could do this one little thing. Maybe it will be, you know, for the rest of this month, or the rest of this year, because this month's almost over, but let's just say for the rest of this year, you're going to make a promise to yourself to open the door for someone when you see them struggling, or helping someone with their groceries when it's too heavy, or any little thing. Just pick one thing and allow yourself to help people in just one small way. And I think that will open a door that you didn't know was closed in front of you. I think you don't even know the door is there. But I think it will open this door that you will think, wow, this is a really easy thing to do, and it feels good. And I could probably do more. So those are just some ideas and suggestions. And in doing these suggestions and ideas that I bring to you, I'm hoping you can see that meditation can help you sort out what you might want to let go of, and the stuff you don't really need to drag behind you everywhere you go. I know a lot of times we go to work and we're dragging our problems from home. And we go home and we're dragging our problems from work. And I'm not saying they're not problems, and I'm not trying to make them seem like they're unimportant, because they affect you, and of course they're important. But I'm saying don't make more of them than there is. And if there's something you can let go of and just accept as truth, maybe you should do that. And lighten that load that you're carrying, that you're dragging around with you everywhere you go. One of the things that we talked about, which was really helpful, and I hope that you go back and listen to the archives on the website, is Pema Chodron's teachings on Shenpa and the 3 difficult practices. The 3 difficult practices was one of the things that I see helps people understand the steps to take and how meditation can help with that. And the first difficult practice is acknowledging our habitual behavior. Noticing when we're hooked in Shenpa, which is something we don't like, when someone pushes our button. And immediately when that button is pushed, we tense up and we get defensive, and we start arguing, we start fighting, or it's usually not very pleasant. But noticing that behavior and where it comes from, and noticing how automatic it is, noticing that we don't even think, we just act. It's a button. It's pretty automatic. But that's the first practice, is just to notice it. How many times does this come up in a day or a week? What are the buttons? Are there more than one? Are there more than 20? Recognizing them, even just noticing them and writing them down. Oh wow, I didn't realize I had that button. But it's a way of being aware. It's a way of becoming aware of the buttons. And that's the first difficult practice. The second difficult practice is the hard one. It's to do something different. Intentionally take your habitual behavior and throw it away, and intentionally do something different. What Pema Chodron calls fresh behavior, something new, a fresh start. So you're intentionally choosing to act in a different way. And it's very difficult to do because it doesn't feel comfortable. We have go-to places. When our buttons are pushed, we go to a habitual place and we react. But to not do that is really hard. But it's a really good exercise because it shows us exactly what we need to work on. And it makes us think through meditation, perhaps, what are my other choices? What things could I have said differently or done differently, or not done at all? Maybe it's best to not react at all. So this is where meditation helps. It helps us to look at these things at a distance, not become emotionally involved in them. And it also clarifies what's real and what's the truth, and what's something we desire, or some suffering that we're holding on to. And the third difficult practice is to make that fresh behavior a daily practice. And that's really hard. I've been doing it for a while. I catch myself all the time, realizing later, I did that again. I got caught up in that Shenpa. Okay, well, I noticed it, and next time I'm going to try not get caught up in it. And really that's all I can do, is just to notice it, make the effort, make the right effort to see it and choose a different behavior. So we're going to take a break for a couple of minutes, do a commercial, and we'll come back and we'll talk about some meditations. Hold on, we'll be back in a couple minutes.
You're invited to participate in a true multimedia experience coming to a home near you. LCM TV is bringing Lake County into the new millennium with news, live broadcast, information, music, talk shows, and local programming, all streaming in high definition online and soon to be on your Roku box. Join us at lcm-tv.com or be a part of our studio audience. You can also watch the shows at lakecomagazine.com as we provide programming to inform, enlighten, and maybe even enrage you. On Lake County Magazine Talk Show with Terry and Pete the Tax Guy, Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. Joni Lane brings a positive light to you every Monday at 3 p.m. Pasha Space brings an international flair as they discuss ecological, health, and social issues in Haiti with people around the world. End up your week with positive, conscious sounds on Saturday at 9 a.m. with Sister T on the Bridge. This show is also simulcast on KMEC 105.1 FM in Ukiah. Our latest show, LCM TV News, is brought to you live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon, featuring national, regional, and local news, weather, and sports. We have it all here for you on your local TV station, LCM TV. Join us online and soon on Roku, giving you access to all the best Lake County has to offer. We are LCMTV.com, your multimedia connection. Tune in for the fun. It's live TV at its best.
Positive Light. I am your host, Joni Lane. And we were talking about the various kinds of Buddhist practices that can help us let go of troubling thoughts and behaviors. And meditation is a great way to understand our behavior and help us choose different behaviors. I like to begin most of the meditation sessions that we teach at the center with sati, which is mindfulness meditation. And with doing that, we're learning to be mindful of our thoughts and notice them and let them go. Mindful of our body and how we're holding it. Mindful of our breath coming in and going out. So it's a really good way to begin to just settle and understand what we need to let go of. Let go of the tension, let go of the thoughts. From there, we usually will go into metta meditation, which is loving kindness meditation. And in loving kindness meditation, it's a practice, actually a very beautiful support of other awareness practices. In this country especially, I've noticed we have a very hard time being selfish. Selfishness is a very negative word in this country. It means, well, you're being selfish. That's not nice. You should think of others. And yes, you should. But we also need to learn how to love ourselves. And in meditation practice, you learn the positives about yourself. You can identify the negatives in yourself, the things you want to work on and let go of or change. But there's really no judgment there. It's just identifying the things that are positive or not, things that are working for you and things that are getting in your way. It's part of our development as healthy, loving human beings to love ourselves first. And in order to do that, it sometimes feels very awkward to love yourself. Society's taught us that we're not supposed to, that we're being big-headed when we do that. But I disagree. I think in order to love others truly, we need to know who we are. We need to know how to love us. Whether we're acting nicely or if we're acting not so nice, you can still love yourself. Forgive yourself. Stop judging yourself and start over. Every minute of every day. So in the loving kindness practice, we begin with ourselves. And often there's a mantra that we say to help us remind us that we're thinking of ourselves and that we can be good to ourselves. And Jack Cornfield, who's one of my teachers, has a great metta meditation, and it's very simple. During the meditation, he says, repeat to yourself, may I be happy, may I be well, may I be safe, may I be peaceful and at ease. And then we repeat that over and over during our meditation, and that's what we are mindful of. And in doing that, a lot of times, you want those phrases to sink in and really experience what they mean. May I be happy. The word happy, what does that mean? May I be well. May I be well. There's a lot of ways you can be well. What does that mean? May I be safe. May I be peaceful and at ease. What do those phrases mean? During the meditation, many thoughts might open up to you. And you often will feel this nice, warm, comfortable feeling of, yeah, I like me. I love myself. And you feel your heart opening up, and you're okay to sit there with yourself, wishing yourself well. On the other hand, sometimes during these meditations, the opposite feelings may arise, and you might feel sadness or inadequacy, or you might feel anger or grief, or a lot of other things might come up. And those are usually a sign of your heart softening. If we have closed ourselves off from others, and we've closed ourselves off from loving ourselves, and we have this very hardened shell on the outside, and suddenly we want to sit and love ourselves and allow that loving heart to open up and those peaceful feelings to come in, a lot of times we'll feel anger or sadness, and we don't know how to deal with it. But usually when that happens, it's a sign that your heart is softening and allowing some emotions to come in. And those emotions probably need to be processed. So if they do, allow them to come up and feel them and let them go, and keep repeating the mantra to yourself, and see if you can get into a nice place of, may I be well, may I be safe, may I be happy. Happiness is a hard one sometimes for people. And for others it's not. Happiness is easy. So being peaceful and at ease with who you are and all of your emotions that come up is a difficult practice. But like any practice, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So I'd like to suggest we take a few minutes and do some metta meditation. And during this meditation, I'm going to have some photos up. Some of the photos that you see are by a local artist, Ron Keyes, who's a beautiful photographer. And some of the other photos as well. And I've tried to pick some nice, peaceful, beautiful ones. But during this meditation, I will be reading some suggestions. I'll be repeating, may I be happy, may I be well meditation. And a few quotes by some leaders, Dalai Lama, Thich Nhat Hanh, and more. And I will ring the gong when I'm done, so you'll know when we can open our eyes. So let's go ahead and take a couple of deep breaths. And close your eyes if you'd like to, or leave them open and gently look at the pictures in front of you. Taking deep breaths and releasing. Let go of any tension you're holding in your shoulders. Notice your breath entering your body, filling your lungs. Exhaling and releasing tension. If a thought comes, it's okay. Come back to your breath. Notice your lungs filling. Notice your body relaxing as you exhale. Let go of any tension in your legs, in your ankles, in your feet. Using your breath, releasing any tension in your legs. Sitting in your body, thinking of your body. Don't allow any external noises to bother you. Just coming back to your breath, staying in your body, and relaxing as you exhale. Let your hips settle deeply into your chair. If you're lying down, feel your back pressing deeper into the cushion. Let your belly muscles relax. Allow the stress and tension to melt off of you with every breath. Let go of any tension in your shoulders, in your arms, your hands, fingers. Allow your neck to relax, your scalp. Relax your face, your jaw muscle, your ears. Relaxing your throat. And in the next breath, repeat to yourself, may I be happy. May I be well. May I be safe. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be safe. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be safe. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be safe. May I be peaceful and at ease. We all have the power to connect with the wonders of the present moment. And with practice, we can come to realize that everything we are looking for is available to us in the here and now. With mindfulness, we can build the insight necessary to open ourselves to the wonders of life. mindfulness, concentration, and insight listening through meditation, getting in touch with our own suffering, helps us all to understand each other and our suffering. When you understand suffering, your compassion naturally arises. It is not always pleasant to sit with our suffering. Often we run away by watching television, listening to music, talk on the phone, or eat something. This covers up the suffering, but it does not heal the suffering, and the suffering grows. We can learn to sit with our suffering and experience it, and learn how to care for ourselves. From that, we can learn to commune with our suffering and become friends with it and understand it. Through the process of understanding, we can create a kind of communion with our suffering. And from this understanding, there is born a compassion toward others and their suffering, the world's people's suffering, the planet's suffering. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be safe. May I be peaceful and at ease. When we find our happiness and become peaceful and at ease with ourselves, we can develop compassion toward others and the planet. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be peaceful and at ease. As our loving ourselves grows and our heart opens, we can say to others, may you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be peaceful and at ease. Breathing in, we come back to the light in our bodies, the light that is already inside us, the light that resides inside. Mindfulness brings insight. Insight to touch the miracle of being alive. And while we touch the joy and miracle of being alive with our breath, we can breathe out and smile and celebrate the joy that we are alive. Breathing in and breathing out can make us fully present in the here and the now. Fully alive. Breathing out brings us freedom from any regrets from our past. Joy to be in this present moment. Through mindfulness, happiness, peace, and freedom can be experienced in every breath. Each moment, each breath is the miracle of life. May I be happy. May I be well. May I be safe. May I be peaceful and at ease. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be peaceful and at ease. Breathing in, opening our loving heart, we may say to the world, may we be happy. May we be well. May we be safe. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be happy. May we be well. May we be safe. May we be peaceful and at ease. Everything we are looking for is there in each moment. With each in-breath, we can begin to see the freedom open up to us to experience fully the miracle of our lives. Each moment that makes up our lives. May we be happy. May we be well. May we be safe. May we be peaceful and at ease. Well, I hoped you enjoyed that meditation. It was just 15 minutes of meditation. Not too long, not too short. I tried to show you in that meditation to pay attention to your breath and to see that to start with yourself in opening up your heart to yourself and loving yourself first, wishing yourself well, giving yourself positive affirmations. Once you learn how to open your heart to yourself, then you can share that love with others and wish them well and extend that out to them. From there, it makes it a lot easier to extend that out to the world. And our planet needs a lot of love. There's a lot of people that are not living a positive life, and we cannot control them. But we can begin with ourselves and be the best people we can be. And it's very contagious. If we spread that to others, hopefully they can spread it to others. And we can begin to make the world the place we know it should be. If you'd like to repeat this meditation or watch one of my other shows to learn a little bit more about meditation and how it works, how you might benefit from it, what types of meditation you may benefit best from, please visit the website and watch one or several of the archive shows that I have on there. There's a tab at the top of the website that says Archive TV Shows. And there is an explanation or description next to each of them. So I want to thank you for spending this time with me, and thank LCM TV for having us here. We're here every Monday at 3 o'clock. Thank you, Sam Houston, for letting us play your beautiful music from your Beyond the Crescent Moon CD. And thank you again for joining us. I'll see you next week at 3 o'clock. Until then, be very good to yourself and pass that love on to others. Thank you.